Hi everyone. Whether you are perhaps a school or uni student yourself, you might be the parent of a school or uni student, you could be a school teacher, perhaps a careers advisor, or even somebody in school leadership. We all know that one secondary school student who's finished year 12, they worked exceptionally hard, they were independently motivated, they were really confident academically, they probably smashed their results out of the park, perhaps got a really awesome ATAR, they got into their first choice at their first institution, they may even have had a scholarship to do so, so everybody's cheering, the school is amazed and happy, parents and the student are elated, everything great. And then unfortunately, when they head off to that first year at university, that student finds things really, really challenging. Perhaps their mental health and their well-being, oftentimes experiencing some burnout, and really in terms of their results, perhaps just not passing some of their units, and some challenges in communicating that home with their parents and their families. And this is obviously a story that we do not want to hear, and I want to avoid for you and the young people in your lives. So my name is Dr. Hilary Coleman. I'm currently a university senior lecturer, but I also am a former school teacher. And so I've made this video because in talking to a lot of school teachers increasingly, what I'm actually finding is a sense of unease whereby schools and families are doing an amazing job preparing the young people in their lives for the next stage for their adventure. So getting that ATAR, heading off to university, they do so much work in that space. And yet, unfortunately, students are really finding that transition much, much harder than we would hope that they would. And so from my perspective, that's not something we should be pushing on school teachers and families. I know from experience that you are doing incredible work in this space. And so the idea for me is what I've done is in talking to a lot of people, I oftentimes find that people just aren't across the stats on university success and attrition and retention. And that's not because more people should be, because ultimately, we've only got 24 hours in the day. So I'm not expecting that everybody gets across the stats, but I'm really interested in it. I'm really passionate about the school to uni transition. And so what I've done with this playlist of uni stats is to just really make the invisible visible to people. What are the stats on attrition in first year undergraduate degrees? How many students in 10 are actually still trying to course complete even after 8 years? What are the wellbeing stats? What are students who don't course complete and drop out of university? What do they say about their university experience? All of these things and more I'm trying to put into these stats. Now, some of these stats are actually really alarming, and I'm not trying to alarm anyone. Ultimately, I come from a science background, I have a PhD in research chemistry, and so even though I'm an ed-focused academic now, I really love the data. And the idea to me is the more awareness we have around undergraduate attrition rates and expectations and success, the more likely it is that our students are not going to fall into those same traps. So what I strongly encourage you to do is have a look at each of these videos with the young person in your life who's thinking about uni. If you're a school teacher, that's awesome. You can just give this playlist to your students. If you're a parent, I'd strongly encourage you to watch through these videos with your child. In the notes below this video, I've also put a couple of links to some other resources. So for example, I've got a university glossary that goes through all that key new terminology that a young person's going to need to be across if they want to feel confident with their studies. I've also made it jam-packed with tips from a university lecturer, so I hope that's helpful. I've also made an on-demand mini course with a bunch of videos that really help students orient themselves in the university landscape. So how should they be approaching their studies? What are the biggest hazards that they could avoid? What things that they can do to make themselves as confident and as most likely to success as possible? I hope you're finding these really helpful. If you've got any questions, I've also put my email address down below in the notes for this video. Please feel free to send me an email if you've got any questions or any other resources that you'd like to see that you think would be helpful. Okay, happy study.